Here we are inside the Majestic 125 motorhome. Firstly, I will come to the main control panel and turn the 12 volt on. This one needs to be turned on when you're hooked up to the mains to be able to charge the leisure battery. Next, beside that, we have a little picture of a tap. So we have water pump off and water pump on. Whenever the water pump is running, so now let's just turn that on. You will get a green illumination here to let you know it's in operation. And then as soon as I turn the tap back off again, it will go out. Next we have the isolator for the lights, and then they can be turned on and off on their own switches. And then we have the awning light. Next we have condition of leisure battery and how much water is in the fresh tank. So we're now down to a very minimal amount. This switch here just turns on the lights just here. Below that we have the control panel for the heating and hot water. If we start with the water heater first, you will see that as I press this button here, we will start to go over a series of icons until we eventually end up back at off. So if we start with the first icon for the water heater, this is a little picture of a snowflake. So we have now put the boiler in frost protection mode. So if there's water in the boiler but you don't necessarily want to be draining it, you can put it on this one here, and if the temperature outside drops below 3-4 degrees, it will come on just to stop the tank from freezing up. Next we have a single wavy line which represents mains electricity. I always round it up to 1 kilowatt. It's a bit lower than that. Then we have main supply at about 2 kilowatts. Gas on its own. Dual fuel, so gas with mains at 1 and dual fuel with gas and mains at 2. Very handy if you have both power sources available to you, especially in the winter months. You will get up to temperature extremely quickly. Whenever you are consuming gas, you will get a little gas flame appear just here to let you know it's lit. There we are. If there was a problem in any shape or form, so the gas ran out, wasn't turned on, air in the system, or as we're currently running in dual fuel, if we now lost main supply, etc., we would get a red exclamation mark just appear here to let you know that there's a problem. Once you think you've rectified the problem, you will still need to reset the control panel, and the way you do this is just by holding this button in and then pressing the plus button to reset it. If we now move to the lower, this is for the heating, and again, as I now move round, the icons will change. So if we start with the first one, down here we have 1 wavy line, and down here it represents about 500 watts on main supply. 2 wavy lines about 1 kilowatt, 3 wavy lines about 2 kilowatts. Then we have gas on its own, and then we have the dual fuel again. We control the temperature on the plus and the minus. You will see up here that the flame has now gone out. This is now letting me know that basically the water is at temperature. So if I now run the hot tap, you'll see it is nice and hot with the steam rising. Same again with the heating. When you're consuming gas, you will get a flame here, and if there's a problem, same again, you will get a red exclamation mark, and to reset it, hold down this one and press the plus button. Well, recommend the Moon as night mode because it's a low heat, and if it's a hot day you can just put it on here and it will just circulate the air. And now if I now return back to off again, the entrance door, red is locked, green is unlocked, and just pull the trigger. Next we have the fridge, currently off. If I now turn, we are now on mains electricity with a little 2-pin plug. Next we are on 12 volt maintain for when we're driving, and then the last one is gas. If you are going to use the unit on gas, basically what we want is a little line here to drift out of the white into the green to let you know it's lit. So basically come across to your temperature control, hold it in, and then push the ignite button. And then if I now move across, you will now see that we're now in the green and we're now lit. As soon as I turn it to a different power source setting, it will then automatically put itself out, and then it's just pushed down to open. Next we have the hob. So we have 3 gas rings, and that is just literally push in, twist, and then basically press the igniter on the front here. As you can see. And then we have the electric hot plate just here, and the red light comes on to let you know it's in operation. We then have the oven and grill. It is push in to the left for the oven, and then if I then go back to off again and push in and go to the right, we will fire the grill up. We then have gas isolation taps in here. Top one for the fridge, bottom one for the heating. These are both in the on position, and quite frankly they can stay like that. They're more for maintenance. I always say smell gas in the van, turn the bottle off. And then if we then come to this one, we have the water pump in here, and then we also have the rest of the gas isolation taps. Cooker, hob, hot water. Tucked right at the very back in this one here, I'm just going to get my torch, is the boiler drain valve. So tucked right at the very back here. It's very difficult to see, but you might just be able to see it just there. There's a little yellow lever. You turn that to the side and it will then start to drain the water out of the boiler. To fill it back up again, just flap it back to the position that it's in at the moment. Make sure there's water in the fresh water tank, turn the water pump on, and it will then begin to prime itself back up again. Open up all your taps, blow all the air out, and then once all the air's out and the water's running freely, close them, and then the boiler will be fully primed. You will also see that there's a little red button just there. That is the boiler's hard reset. So if it has errored with the little red exclamation mark and for some reason it just will not reset on the control panel itself, you can come to that button just there, press it a few times and it will reset. Next we have the solar panel regulator. You do not need to do anything with this, it will just smart charge the leisure battery. As you can see, we have a green flashing light at the moment, just letting you know that it's popping a charge in. When the battery is full, it will go to a solid green light. We then have in here also the isolator for the microwave, and then the microwave just sits here. As it says on the sticker, do make sure that you remove everything for travel. And then, as you can see, it just behaves like any normal microwave. Quick start, stop, or rotate for time, etc. Next we have the washroom. So we have the basin just here and the shower just here and the Thetford toilet here. The bowl moves around, and then to open to the cassette on the grey lever just here, and then to flush just on the blue button just here, and then to close to the cassette again just push back on the grey lever, and you will get an illumination to let you know when the cassette needs emptying. The light switch for in here is actually located over by the sink, and is this one here. Next we have the Omni vent fan. To open the roof vent, just wind and then push the middle button to turn it on, and then you have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling. If I now continue to press this button, it will extract, as you can see, and if I then press the opposite, it will then slow back down, and then the blades will begin to spin in the opposite direction and draw air in. Do make sure that we are wind down for travel. Also on the ceiling we have the PIR for the auto watch alarm system. Every now and then just press this button, you will see that the red light will begin to flash. This is just checking that it is operational, because it does require a couple of batteries. Next we have where the double bed is located and the vast storage area at the back. If we first come to this point here, we have storage, and then we have the consumer unit. So in here we have the main trips, so we have the individual MCBs, RCD and test button, and then we have all the 12 volt fuses all labelled up again, all at the bottom. And then this switch here is for the automatic tank heaters in the water tanks. If this is flicked like this and there's water in the tanks, if the temperature outside drops below 3-4 degrees, the tank heaters will come on to stop them from freezing. To use the double bed, just unclip and then drop down. like so, and then exactly the same on this side here. And then this little piece here would then drop down, and exactly the same this side, to then fill the gap in the middle. These parts just here are so you can drop them in like so, and the other one and then you can then segregate off the storage area. We then have the infill and the memory foam topper for the third single bed, which can be made at the front here. All that is needed is for the driver's seat to be rotated, and then this part here pulled out, and then if we grab the infill, the infill can then be popped in here. We then remove this one here for the extra length, and then we roll out the topper on top. There is also a small infill for the chair, which is located in the wardrobe, which is just here. Also in here are the fridge vents, pegs for the awning, and if you wanted to, you can put curtains up in the cab area. There is curtain track all the way along, but this does come with proper blinds as well. Located in this overhead locker here is the television aerial. Just undo the collar, push up, get it into the position that you require, and then lock into place. And then we have the digital amplifier just here. Control the boost on the inner dial. Just make sure that we are down for travel. So I now remove this infill, and then just remove this cushion just for a moment. You will see we have the fresh water tank just underneath here. We can gain access to it by unscrewing the top if you want to add cleaning solution. And then actually tucked down here, and it is quite awkward to get to, and you hopefully will never need to do it, the red isolator, the red reset button for the space heater is located there. So again, if you get a red exclamation mark on here and it will not reset, you can hard reset it at that location there.